Maybe it's interesting to start with the background as you started already. So how the store has originated, what is the decision making behind it?
Yeah. Okay. The store opened in 1999. It was the first flagship store and still is today of Demeulemeester. The building itself was an old seaman school. This would have been like the big hall. The floor is still original. Everything else has now been redesigned by Anne and Patrick, because when the company was bought by Antonioli in 2020, they refurbished the whole store, refreshed it. It's the feeling of a mansion. The white canvas has always been very central in everything they did. The walls actually are not completely white, it's a light shade of blue.
Yeah.
But all the furniture, all the lights, the lamps, the sofa, everything is designed by Anne and Patrick and is produced now for this collection by Xerox. Also is all the tableware, the glassware, and it's a nice addition to the brand. That's always was a clothing brand, of course. But it's a nice addition. They started when leaving the brand, actually. When they sold the brand, they started doing pottery, tableware, furniture, and it's nice that that there's a space for it in the store.
Yeah, and they're also still involved within the homeware.
They have full control on the homeware.
And the fragrance as well, right?
And the fragrance. Yeah. The clothing is now under the creative direction of Stefano
Gallicci.
Yeah, Stefano Gallicci. Based in Milan. So everything else is still based in Belgium. Xerox is also a Belgian brand. So yeah, it makes sense.
And about the architecture itself, how do you feel like people experience the store when they come here for the first time, or how was it for you as well?
I remember for me as a young kid, I had to walk around the block a few times before I dared to enter. It's impressive. It gives you an impression, and the first time you have to enter the store is with a small heart, but then you immediately feel welcome.
Yeah.
I always felt welcome, so I was super happy that I could start working here. It's space. For me, the most important part of the store is the space. Nothing is cramped. Everything is very well placed, very well lit. The light design is amazing. The fact that you still can see the sun on the walls, that it's not overtaken by the light. Everything together makes sense. It's a poetic feeling. It's a feeling of calm, serenity. Where everything that needs to be lit is lit.
Yeah, it also seems it has the connection between the window frames as well, as they are framing the outside, and here is the clear division between the floor and the ceiling being very dark, and kind of everything in between seems to be as an exposition.
It feels like a gallery. It feels like a gallery without... it's artistry. It's artistry, and artistry belongs in a gallery, not crammed together without space, without intersections. So no, it's just this communication. It's just translated very perfectly. We have here part of the Spring/Summer 25 main collection, designed by Stefano Gallicci. It's a collection made and based on rockers, punk rockers. His main muse was October in the Eye, but there's references of Fleetwood Mac, there's references of Crystal Castles. Things that make me super happy are the use of jacquard. Jacquard has always been in the collection, so these kind of jacquard wovens reference the original brand as well. The whole punk rock Music hits vibe. That's also always been in the collection. The reference of Ellis Island, Patti Smith, Robert Mapplethorpe. The fluidity and the strong contrast of leather is, I think, one of the key points in this one. And it's still black and white, which is not really common anymore in the collection. Black and white is more a legacy part of the brand, I think. But as from this winter, there will be a lot of colors introduced again. There's shades of sage green, there's brown tones, there's sand tones, all quite natural, because the next collection is based on a road trip Stefano did in Los Angeles in the Mexican desert, and linked to the music that he listened during that road trip. So again, music is a strong focus on music in the next collection again.
You don't really hear it here.
Sorry?
You don't really hear it here, the musical reference.
No, we tried it a few times. On a Saturday it's possible, but screaming loud guitars in a store like this doesn't work. We tried techno and also, no, it has to be something emotional. There has to be more singer-songwriter music from today and from the 70s.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite pieces. It's a beautiful crafted knitwear. It's handmade in Italy. It's a viscose mohair, and it's designed by one of the knitwear designers under Stefano. It's Slobodan. Slobodan was also a graduate from the Fashion Academy here, and he's working now in the design team in Milan. Always been a big fan of his work. And it's a nice combination with a white dress, a white spaghetti dress with lace details. This just arrived. It's one of the key jewelry pieces from the show. And it's a silver diadem with a pearl. Pearl comes back in the rest of the jewelry we have for this season. So fluid looks in a black and white contrast, in the beautiful jacquard wovens they did for this season. I love the lace details, but the whole silhouette is very fluid, very airy, not heavy at all for summer.
And where do you see or observe Stefano Gallici heading towards as he develops throughout the brand?
I think Stefano is really moving into his position as the creative director of It's of course a very difficult status suddenly after and everybody in between being the head designer or the creative director of Demeulemeester. It's a heritage brand. But I think he's doing a great job. I think he's trying to reach a younger clientele, because as well here in the store we have a lot of historic customers that grew up with the brand, still fan of the brand, which is of course amazing, under a new creative direction. This is a t-shirt that Stefano did for as a charity for Save the Children.
Is there something that you notice the store also creates in you emotionally, for example? Like, oh, this is a certain feeling, or...
yeah, feeling of melancholy sometimes. It has a strong emotional impact on everybody, also to a lot of visitors. There's a lot of people sometimes just sitting in the sofa, staring and experiencing and feeling. I think it's an amazing place to just reflect.